look of this dish. The glory look of this dish is all We will start. Well, Todd, I'm so glad you're working with me today. This is Todd Wolf. He is city administrator for the city of Sheboygan, and the other side of his brain works just as well. He cooks a lot. You built your own pizza oven. Not only do you make pizza, you built your damn oven.
Yes,
I love that. That is great. And so what else? You make the pizza all the time, and you cook often at home.
Yes, I do. I make my own doughs. I make my own sauces. I love to cook. So.
And when we did the Japanese cooking class at the senior center, you came and did the sushi for us.
Yes.
That was wonderful. And Alderman Betty Ackley came and told us all sorts of wonderful Japanese things and taught us how to sing some songs. That was a great class.
It was
okay, we're starting with, we're going to do a pasta dish, a hot pasta dish with herbs, and then the decoration for the pasta will be these cheese wafers that stand up. And that simply, I have here some Sartori cheese and some marble jack. We make little piles. It will melt, it will get firm, and these cheese cracks taste fabulously good. Sometimes I put little herbs in with that, sometimes not, sometimes other cheese. Sometimes.
What would you recommend for an herb? Would you say like some chives or something to give it some green?
Yep, something that'll stay kind of green. That's what I say, but whatever you happen to like. And for the pasta, the first pasta dish, I've chosen this tripolini nests, which means 3-something nests, and a kind of fancy schmancy. Actually, when I put them in the water, it looked like the edges of lasagna noodles were cut off.
Oh, there you go.
And then I broke them and put them in the water. Here we have the hot pasta. And it is hot. To this pasta.
What did you, and how did you prep the pasta, Marilyn?
Cooked it in salt water, drained it, and because I made it yesterday, I knew that if I just left it as is, it would be one solid glued chunk.
Correct.
So I rinsed it. I rinsed all the starch off, which is against the rules if you want sauce to stick. That's true. Yeah. However, I'm doing it for the cooking class today, so I had to. And then I melted butter and put on it to make it taste even better. So now it's and I actually used broth to cook it yesterday.
Oh, you don't have to give it a little bit more flavor?
Right, right.
Okay.
And then some herbs. Here we have thyme, which is awfully piddly to get the thyme in there, but we do it. Then sometimes I save all these stems and the ends of the herbs. You know, you buy them or put them in your refrigerator, and then they finally will mold and you throw them away. Well, I put them in the freezer along with carrot peelings, onion skins.
Oh, to make your own broth.
Yep.
Excellent.
The bones from chicken, from rotisserie chicken.
Yep. Even
leftover pork chop bones. Even though we've eaten that, I'm going to be boiling the heck out of it. I figure it's okay.
I usually take my my chicken or my beef and I'll put them into different containers and freeze it until I have a larger quantity of what I want.
And so you actually have a specific flavor. At the end, mine is just hodgepodge of whatever I happen to have thrown into my freezer, and I call it my compost stock.
Okay.
It does smell good, doesn't it? Just pulling this oregano off of here. Oh, this is thyme. Now I did have a lot of parsley a few days ago. I chopped it. I put it in the oven to dry. Then I put it in the freezer. And look how beautifully green it is instead of tan.
Oh, very nice.
Let's put some dill in there. Put all the dill in there. So this will be Herby Pasta with cheese crackers, cheese wafers, cheese melts. Take your pick of the name you like. Then mint, not too much, or a lot, depending upon what you like. I'm going to cut it. Some people tear it. Neither way is right nor wrong. There are no mint police coming to one's house to check on you. Thank heavens. Can you smell the mint? This is the oregano. I try to get marjoram. I like marjoram even better because it's kind of like mild oregano, but oftentimes the stores do not have marjoram. So I do the oregano.
Oh, the smells are just amazing right now.
Uh-huh.
Even through the mask, I can.
Even through the mask, I agree.
Now, what else will you be putting in there with, now that you've got all your herbs in there?
Oh, there is the melted butter in there, of course.
Yep.
And I'm going to put some lemon zest. So it's kind of just herby pasta.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other sauce.
Now, when you're zesting, you don't want to get to the white, right? You
Right.
just want to get the yellow of it.
Yep, because the underneath is pith, and the pith tastes pithy.
It'll pith you off?
Yeah, that's what it does. And then, of course, the other way to use this zester is this way. So whichever is most comfortable for your hand.
Correct. I usually do it the other way that you did it. Because right now you're stacking it all
Yep.
up and then it sticks.
Oh, look at all those beautiful wafers.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Todd, beautiful. And because we have on our masks, we won't be able to taste this yet. Otherwise, at home, I would see if it needed a little pepper or a little salt. Well, I think we should put pepper on it.
Yeah, just a little crack. That's an oldie.
It is. I bought this at JCPenney's 25 years ago.
Wow.
They had them on sale for $1.
$1, 25
I bought
years ago.
3.
Wow.
Yep. And they actually work.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Oh, that looks beautiful. It smells great.
Look at that. Is that fancy smell?
Awesome. This is great.
Noodles with butter, herbs, and melted cheese. We will move on to the next noodle dish. Some butter in this little bitty wok. I want to have brown butter. Now, it's kind of hard to see it in the black, that's true, but I'll be able to tell maybe by the aroma. Sometimes the brown butter has little black specks in it. It still tastes wonderful.
Oh, definitely.
In this,
It gives it that nice earthy taste also.
in this electric skillet, I'm heating some butter. Going to put in, we have pea pods. I might as well just put the pea pods in there.
Yeah.
Sugar snap. You can do the, what are the other peas? The sugar snap and the other ones you use in the Asian.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, if I said the word, you'd know it.
Now, Marilyn, what kind of pasta are we going to be using?
Oh, orzo, which looks like rice. Can you see it in my pink patty cake? Let's see if, here, I'll
He's
put
coming
it
in, he's coming in.
there.
There we go, now I can see it.
Yeah, but
Perfect.
it is pasta. It's actually a noodle.
I would like to use orzo for some of my my summer dishes. So I'll make it and then I'll add like cucumbers and peppers and a little Italian seasoning in there, and it's just a really nice fresh salad for in the summer.
Great. Instead of rice salad,
Correct.
pasta. Oh, that sounds
But
wonderful.
because it is such a nice small grain,
Yep.
it doesn't stick. And then with that, by using the Italian dressing, it gives it that extra herbs
Yep.
and flavor and things like that.
Do you make your own Italian or do you buy it? And I've done both.
I've done both.
Yeah.
I will cheat,
Sure.
just because, you know, nobody really is going to care or notice.
That's right.
I'm going to go get this pasta for you.
Okay.
Put that in here.
Look at this. That's beautiful already, isn't it? Now here we need a little, well, I'll wait to put the shrimp in. Sugar snap peas, asparagus tips, and a bit of the end. And then large shrimp. Todd, I'll do some seasoning and then I'll let you, let's see.
Right here.
Right, almost, not quite. Going to do some pepper. And
Do
all
you
the
want to put
cooking,
the onions in yet, or is that for on top?
that's on top.
Okay.
Although they could go in.
Mhm.
I'm grinding the pepper, but don't feel you have to grind the pepper or you're a failure. My gosh.
Although what I will say is cracked pepper actually does have a lot more flavor
Sure it does.
than your ground off the shelf
It
pepper.
does. It does. But if you don't have a grinder,
And that's okay.
you're not banned from the kitchen. And this is a little bit of sugar, not to make it sweet, but simply to enhance the flavor.
Does it help caramelize it all, or just
I suppose it does a little bit, but
Sure.
it's mainly to just make it more flavorful.
okay? Excellent.
You know what? I'll keep stir frying if you'll put that burned butter onto the pasta.
Not a problem.
Oh God, this smells good already.
Right behind you?
Oh, and here, you'll need that. Oh, look at that nice brown butter.
We want to get all of that
Oh, yeah.
good stuff in here. All right.
I'm gonna put in the toasted almonds, and the almonds I did in butter also to make them golden, rather than, I could have just put them on a sheet tray in the oven. That would work too.
True.
A little green onion, raw, for flavor.
Excellent.
And I'll cut up this onion.
Now, Marilyn, if you would have done the almonds in the oven, would you just put them on a parchment,
Yeah.
piece of parchment? Or if I didn't have parchment, what would you recommend? Just
On
a little,
foil.
just on some foil?
Right. And that's only to aid in the cleanup.
Right.
Because guess who does the cleanup?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And years ago, do you remember Charlie Ma, who used to teach audio visual out at LTI, when it was LTI?
Oh, LTI, oh
Yeah.
my.
And he taught cooking classes also for toys.
Oh, nice.
And people would ask him, now, how much of the onion do you use? And he said, you can even use the white part.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely use all of the green.
Yep.
As soon as the shrimp is a little pink, it goes on there.
Perfect.
Oh, it smells good.
It does. It smells really good.
And of course, you know, what I didn't think of but would be very delicious, and there'll be some garlic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what happens, Marilyn, if I don't have fresh garlic? What would I do?
Don't let it stop you. Use garlic powder, buy the chopped garlic in the jar.
Yep. I tend to keep the garlic chopped in a jar because it lasts for a long time and it's good in a pinch if I don't have something.
Of course, of course. There are no police coming to check on how garlicky you are.
Well, I tend to try to stay away from the powder just because of the fact that, you know, you don't want a lot of sodium and things like that.
Yeah. And I think that there's enough heat in that skillet. We can turn off the heat now and it will be cooked to exactly how far we want it. And of course, I see there's little brown bits sticking. I should have brought some wine to deglaze that.
Yes. Now, what kind of wine would you use, Marilyn? I'd use a white wine.
Yeah, simply because of the color. Right.
It doesn't have to be anything fancy either. You're just, you know, even a fruity wine.
Sure, of course.
All right.
Look at that, look at that. Okay, and whenever you think it is fully cooked, you put it in there and give it a toss.
Perfect. Okay.
Any questions about this? Except I should have had wine, I should have had garlic.
No, I actually, and I don't, again, what about a little red pepper?
Sure.
You know, just to give it a little bit of color.
Oh, yes.
You know,
That would have been beautiful.
And I wouldn't do a lot of red pepper. You know, you could still cut it into nice strips. But it gives it some nice flavor, but it also gives it that pizzazz.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
All right. Here, I'll hold it and you can scrape away.
And just a little bit more butter in there, of course.
Of course. This is Wisconsin.
That's correct.
It's not butter, it's, you know, cheese curds or something.
Okay, Eton Mess, E-T-O-N. The English version of Chamtords.
Okay.
So I purchased the meringues. Tried making them. I always have tan meringues. I've not ever made a white one yet, so I purchased them.
So you cheat.
Oh, gosh, yes. It's kind of broken. I have the strawberries, and instead of adding sugar to it, I've added, this one is seedless red raspberry. I had none of that left in my larder. I do make a lot of jam, but I had no red any left in my, so I purchased this. That adds a nice glaze to it, and it's plenty sweet. And I've washed the strawberries, and I like big pieces. That doesn't mean that small pieces are wrong. It's just I like big pieces. My grandmother, in the winter, she would make bread from scratch always. She had a wood burning stove in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. Now in the summer, they went to the bakery because of course it was blasting hot.
Sure.
But, and she always held her homemade bread like this and then cut it like that.
Well, the loaves back then were much larger.
But she cut them right toward, and she never cut her shoulder in her life that I know of.
But she didn't tell you.
Right. And one of grandfather's favorite foods in the world was a food that he called sherbaka, which was simply bread dough pulled thinly and deep fried.
Oh.
And then you eat it with butter on top.
Butter or lard back then?
Sure. Yes. And then, or you can put cinnamon sugar on it.
Oh, sure.
Or Indian fry bread. It's all the same thing.
So is this small enough pieces?
Oh, sure it is. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to?
So you're going to want a few pieces of this in there first?
Sure. And use your fingers if you, or use whatever you need to use. And then when you have, some whipped cream.
Is that enough?
Sure. We'll make a couple of layers.
All right.
I'm going to show them our magic. And if that's too messy, Todd, here's some spoons. I'm going to get the rest of the cream out of the refrigerator
Okay.
and show them the magic whip. Look how beautiful that is.
All right.
This gadget I purchased at a Pampered Chef party. And I thought, there's no way this baby is going to work, but I'm going to try it. It works great.
It did. It worked really, really nice.
A half pint of cream and some sugar in there, and I forgot to bring the vanilla. And of course, I can do this for a while, but then Todd, I'm going to have you do it. You're so much stronger than I am. Is it thick already? Oh, and the trick, yeah.
How does it go?
Yep, that's it. You just, oops, no.
Nope, not
Ways to
yet.
go. When I bring that gadget to the dinner table on Sundays, when we used to be able to get together with the family, then the boys would love to,
Pass it around.
yep, pass it around and do that, yep. And of course, mostly meringues, mostly cream, mostly strawberries, however you happen to like it. And we won't need that, but I wanted to do the demonstration.
I figured it was just a workout for me or keep me busy.
You're a smart man.
Should I warm this up?
Yes, please. We're going to make white chocolate pearls to decorate the top of our Eton Mess. And white chocolate is the most difficult to handle. The dark chocolate is the easiest to handle by far, but they didn't have any dark chocolate slabs at the store, so I went with the white chocolate. Slightly softish, very slightly from the microwave. And then I'll use my cheese plane to make curls to decorate the top. And it's simply a good trick.
It's a little soft over here, but
That's okay. Let's see how it might. Oh, well, not a curl, but a sort of a slab. The dark chocolate does curl the nicest.
But we could take it and fold it. Or
Go ahead, see if you can. Okay, look at this one. Whoops. It's getting close. It's still not as dramatic as I would like it. With the dark chocolate, I sometimes could get giant rolls of chocolate to put on.
Ribbons.
Yes. And I used to try it melting the chocolate, then using the knife. Well,
No.
occasionally you get one. Then grating it, you just get grated. Eton Mess. Orzo with shrimp. Look how beautiful that is. Yes, Todd. We'll put the,
there you go.
thank you, Todd. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for helping. And when we do another cooking class someplace, you know who I'm calling. And if you do a cooking class, I'll gladly be your sous chef.
Sounds great. Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.